then. Women's 15, Whittni Orton, 412 PB. That comes from indoors. I have her beating that by a sizable amount in this race. There's a group of people who are racing this meet, Gordon. Like they're going to obliterate their PR because this is fast race they've been in a couple of years, or they haven't run this event in a couple of years, and I would put Whittni Orton on that list. Katelyn Tuohy is also in the race. She has a 414 1500 PB and ran 416 this year. Arkansas is going to feature Krissy and Karina Villon, and BYU is also running Anna Camp, Lauren Ellsworth, and Olivia Hoy. Let's start here first with Orton. I mean, you were out there for that workout with her during the winter cross-country season, the one of only 4 workouts that she had during cross. We saw what she did in the NCAA championships, was in the mix until the last K and then drifted back. But this is her event, the 15. I mean, she's been good at the 5 as well, too, and been good at cross-country. But I always just see her as a 1,500-meter runner because she's naturally just so aggressive.
Yeah. She is kind of falling in the boat of, I think, a Lewis Grijalva, who will be also in this meet, the 5K, of this really great talent who has put down some fast track times, but doesn't really have the NCAA moment. And we kind of expected that NCAA moment to happen during the cross-country season, but it didn't happen. I mean, both of Whittni Orton and Lewis Grijalva were preseason number 1s, I believe, in cross-country. But both of them, they're not meant to be the best in cross-country. They're meant to be the best in their niche event, which is either the 1,500 or 5K. And I think we kind of give athletes like Grijalva and Whittni Orton a little bit of a ding on their resume because of cross-country performance, but mainly it's because we're just searching for something that's recent when really they just haven't been able to been given an opportunity. Both of them didn't do indoors. Both of them didn't do indoors 2 years ago, whatever. And I think Whittni Orton will come out and be like, hey, I can run sub 410. I can challenge the Alexis Sage Herta, and I could be an NCAA potential champion. The same thing with Lewis Grijalva in the 5K later on in this meet. So, yeah, Whittni Orton, I think it's kind of like a weird coming out party that she'll have. Is like, don't forget about me. When the grass becomes a track and the spikes become dragonflies, I'm ready to go. So,
put that in the back of a T-shirt, track coaches. That was good. Gordon just giving you gold right there. I think we're going to come away from the weekend because I think Herta and Orton are both going to run. We're going to be talking about those two favorites for the 1,500 on the women's side. I think that's going to be the takeaway from the West Coast relays. There'll be other names in the mix, but I think those two are going to separate themselves. Tuohy, 414, I think is well within her range. She's already run a 416 weather dependent, and obviously that would be a good run for her. Running those 1200s indoors and on those DMRs probably helped. Like, she had an interesting indoor / cross country season because she was doing, she had the cross country season, but she also was running these distance medley relay legs. So she was in shape kind of for both things, which kept her sharp, I believe. I would expect her to run somewhere in the 410, 411 range if I had to pick.
Do you think that the 1,500 is still an option for her in her career, or do you think it's already solid that you're a 5K and up type athlete? I mean, kind of the way Grant Fisher came into college, she's like, yeah, I'm a miler. And then we're like, no, you're not. You're running the 5K your entire time in college.
Yeah. I think long term, she's a 5 and 10, but I still think she can, just based on how good she is in those events, running in the 1530s, in the 5,000, she can run some good 1,500 meter marks as well. Maybe 410 with the weather, maybe 410, 411 is a little ambitious, but I think she can PB. I think she can dip under 414 in this race and definitely get a season best here. Is there anybody from that other group that you're looking at as a potential, I don't even want to say surprise because all these women have accomplished big things on the championship stage, but Villon, someone like that, Camp, Is there anybody else? Any sleepers?
Yeah, I would say Olivia Hodge. Hoj. How do you say H-O-J?
Hoy.
How do you say that? Hoy.
Hoy.
Olivia Hoy of BYU, I think, is a sleeper. And then also, I think Krissy Gear of Arkansas. She's a good miler. You see that Instagram photo of her and Avilion. Yeah, so Arkansas can kind of sneak in, maybe get the win. But it's going to be a Whittni Orton win. Pretty sure it's a matter of it's like her versus the clock.
Mm-hmm.